Greetings, Early Childhood Education Advisory Committee folks. I knew that some people would not be able to be here at our meeting right before Christmas 22, so I decided to record this and share it with you so you would know what is going on in our program. First of all, I want to share with you a few highlights as well as a couple of bummers. The first highlight, a really big one, would have to be the students that we have in our class. So pictured on the left there is our first section class, and we have students there from Hiawatha, Rochelle, and DeKalb. And pictured on the right are students from our second class. These students all happen to be from DeKalb. And then on this slide, picture to the left there, are a couple more students that we have, one from Hiawatha, one from DeKalb, and one from Sycamore. And then pictured on the right is myself and Miss Maritza, my assistant. We were doing a teaching on the ingredients of successful teachers. And while we did this teaching, we also made chocolate chip cookies. So as each ingredient of a good teacher was listed, we added an ingredient to make our chocolate chip cookies to make the learning memorable. So on to some highlights of the year. So up here in the front of our classroom, we have a cool new TV for me to be able to geek out. I like to share presentations. I often put our weekly plans up there so when the students come in, they can look up there and know what we're going to be doing Monday through Friday. I do videos up there. I do reminders up there. So it is really a good tool that I have in this class that we were able to get at the beginning of the school year. So very grateful for that. Next one is building a caring community of students. And I think this is probably my biggest highlight so far is we have seen our students really come together. They're from all different schools, but they really genuinely care about each other. They work nicely together. They affirm each other. They joke with each other. Sometimes they're more like a family where they bicker with each other, but they are really caring for each other. It's been really, really, really neat. So that's a highlight for me. I've had really good partnerships with Maritza and KEC leaders. Maritza has been here as our assistant in this class and is helping out with all kinds of things in our classroom, as well as KEC leaders like Dr. Horn and the other people in the office who have supported us and supported our class. Another highlight is we've explored a wide range of early childhood education topics that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. We have had excellent student attendance and participation. I have one or two students who I think have perfect attendance so far this year. Others not so good, but by and large, I think it's pretty good attendance and participation in our classes. I tell the students that just showing up is part of it, but actually participating and engaging is another big part of it. When you learn through play, you have to play to learn. Another highlight is awesome final exam presentations by early childhood education students. So instead of giving them kind of a boring written final, their task was to create a slides presentation, kind of like I'm using here, and they were to teach on one of the topics that we learned about earlier this year. So they had 2 days in class to work on their presentations, and then on the third day they presented to teach me and Maritza and their fellow students about their topic. The students really put good energy and good attention, and they were just really awesome presentations that showed me that the students have really been learning while we've been learning about topics in our classroom. Couple bummers to share with you. First of all, we were not able to get our preschool up and running. We did not have enough interest, I guess, to get it up and running. We were hoping for at least 5 kids, and I think I only had about 2 show interest. So we did not get this up and running and are hoping to do that in the future. Another kind of a bummer, for me at least, I feel like I'm offering what I'm calling a crazy buffet of early childhood education fast food. So I'm giving them a whole bunch of food, a whole bunch of different topics, but it's kind of like a buffet with everything kind of just thrown out there, not in a very organized form. So as I look to 23, 24, I'm looking to offer more of a finely tuned menu of delicacies. So we'll be doing the same kind of food. I'm just hoping to organize it better. So it'll seem to me and it'll seem to the students like there's more direction in our learning. So kind of a bummer, kind of just something that I'm working on. So next, I want to share with you just the topics that we have explored and learned about this semester. We usually spend a day or two with me teaching on the topic, and then we try to dive into some learning activities around that topic. Started off with learning through play as just a foundational kind of thing. So students were able to learn how play is so essential to how kids learn. We spent some time learning about art. Process-oriented art is where it's at. And we did several art activities together. Learned about classroom management. What do you do to manage a group of young children in your classroom? We spent some time learning about group times, learning about how you sing with children and read books to children, do group activities, that kind of stuff. We learned about classroom design and interest centers, so learned a little bit about how you go about laying out a classroom and how important classroom design is. We also looked at the various interest centers that early childhood teachers include in their classrooms. We spent some time on the teacher's tool belt, which is where I talked about child guidance. This was kind of a tough topic because none of the students here actually work with young children. So I think this is a better topic when you actually work with children and you can apply those tools that we learned about. But we learned about just a whole bunch of different tools for guiding children's behavior. All about art. I think I already talked about that one. We learned about sensory play and learning. We had about 10 different sensory activities set out in our classroom. And another thing that the students did that week is they made a recipe book with sensory play recipes in it for their future use. We learned about blocks and building. This was a fun week where we had about 10 different block centers set up in the classroom. The students partnered up with one other student and then they built. And after they were finished building, I took a picture of their building structure along with a stuffed animal mascot that they had. And then we put those out for a couple ways for people to vote on them. So both a fun way to learn about building as well as a competition for high school students. The next one was a 2-part week where we talked about what do you do to find quality childcare. So one of the things that I like to focus on with our students is someday they might be teachers down the road. But if not, they will very often be parents down the road. So I want to give some things that they can pack away in their brain and pull out again. But one thing I wanted them to know about is what to look for if you're looking for quality care for your child. And then kind of our partner with that one was meeting and exceeding quality standards in early childhood. So I looked at what child care centers do, what early learning centers do to provide quality for the children attending their center and for the teachers who work at their center. As mentioned earlier, we did one on ingredients of successful early childhood teacher. So the students brainstormed what some ideas that they had for being a good teacher, and then I shared some as well. And then as we were doing this, we added ingredients to bowls and made some chocolate chip cookie dough, and then we baked it in our itty bitty oven here in our classroom so the students could have a memorable experience about ingredients for teachers. We spent some time on family engagement, where we learned how important families are in the life of young children. We explored different kinds of families, and we explored different ways that you can really involve families in your center. For this activity, or for this week, the activity the students did was they planned a family night after I had shared different family nights that my staff and I had hosted, and then they designed kind of a publicity tool or something that they would use to invite families to attend that family night. In addition to that scattering of topics that I just shared, we also worked on our Gateways Level 1 Early Childhood Credential. The modules we've completed so far include the Child Development Overview, Health Issues for Group Care, Nutrition Issues for Group Care, Safety Issues for Group Care, and Observation and Guidance. This has been a bit of a bumpy ride. We were provided with some online modules that we could learn from, but they left a little bit to be desired. So my hope is for the next 10 or 11 modules that we have, that I will just teach them to our students, and hopefully we will get all the good information in, but it'll be done in a better way than the online modules we're providing. Another thing that we have going for us is the dual credit with Kishwaukee College. What this means is that students who are enrolled in our early childhood education classes, they're going to earn dual credit with Kishwaukee College upon successful completion of this class at the end of the spring 23 semester. So one thing that we have, and that'll be good for students who choose to attend Kishwaukee College, and it may be transferable for students who may go elsewhere. I've experienced a challenge in this. It's very tough trying to match the content that I am teaching in Early Childhood Education 1 with the content of Guiding Young Children. I have found that the Early Childhood Education 1 is really more of a kind of an exploratory course where we're looking at tons and tons of topics in early childhood education, whereas guiding is really focused on guiding children's behavior, guidance, discipline, that kind of stuff. So that has been a challenge that I have faced this semester, is how do we get things to match up well? We have also embarked on 3 new initiatives this semester that I want to share with you. The first one is something called Educators Rising. It is a partnership that we are involved in with the DeKalb County Regional Office of Education. For us, it is a new club at KEC with a goal of helping high school students who may be interested in teaching as a profession to learn more about how to become a teacher. So it is a nationwide effort, Educators Rising, because we recognize that there's a shortage in teachers, and so we're hoping that this will help some high school teacher or high school students who think I might want to be a teacher someday to learn more about being a teacher. Our club is meeting monthly in our early childhood education classroom. We have all the students who are enrolled in early childhood, so all 16 of our students, and then we have one student who is enrolled in criminal justice, and she joins us for our meetings each month. Our club days include an icebreaker where we play a game together, and then learning about educators' writing topic. So they provide a series of topics for us to learn about, and of course, some food. Second initiative we're working on is something called a toddler garden. And again, this is a partnership with the ROE. KC, Kishwaukee College, and KEC, Kishwaukee Education Consortium. Our campus will soon have something called a toddler garden, and several of the communities in DeKalb County have toddler gardens. And a toddler garden is a place where families with young children can go to learn, explore nature, and have fun. For us, it's going to be a place where our early childhood education students will be able to interact with children, have outdoor activities, and more. So it's going to be a neat fence space. It's going to have some gardening things. We're going to have some raised gardens, but it's also going to have some outdoor musical instruments. It's going to have a balancing beam, various things like that. So I'm looking forward to a space where when we're learning about outdoors, we can actually go outdoors and learn while we play. Some pending tasks for this: we are working on finalizing our agreement with Kishwaukee College, and the second pending task is we need for spring to arrive so we can do some digging, do some planting, put a fence in, things like that. The third initiative is upcoming. It's also a partnership with ROE. So ROE got a grant to do all these things, and then they're working with us. And this, I'm calling this kind of a sub-club. So it partners with Educators Rising. However, the focus of this one is on early childhood education teachers. So while Educators Rising really focuses on all teachers, all grade levels, etc., Pathways to Play is really going to focus on helping people who want to be early childhood teachers to become early childhood teachers. We're going to begin meeting in January, and our club days are going to look similar to Pathways to Play, but we're going to start off each club meeting with a minute-to-win-it game. So I'm hoping that the students enjoy those, and then we're going to be learning about the creative curriculum. So we're really going to be exploring teaching strategies, creative curriculum, and more. So looking forward to the start of Pathways to Play. What's next, you may ask? We're going to have another semester of minds-on and hands-on learning with our high school students. We, next summer, are going to be offering a second summer camp for middle school or high school students. We're going to have to figure out who we want to aim for. We're going to try to figure out ways to promote the preschool for the 23-24 school year. And I am looking forward to having a time of advanced planning for 23-24, so I'm able to really start the year off with a roadmap for where we are going in our learning with high school students. Now in our meeting, I just want to invite your feedback. Any new initiatives for me to know about? So is there anything new going on in the world of early childhood education that I should know about? I'm a little bit removed from kind of what's happening in the profession now. So if you have any initiatives for me to know about, I invite you to share them with me. I also ask for any suggestions on key concepts that you want teachers to know about or have experience in. So hopefully some of the students will take this this class and really have it as their initial learning in early childhood education. So I'm happy to share with them or help them learn about anything that you feel is valuable for teachers to know about. And then any other suggestions you have on how to best serve our high school students. I thank you for attending this meeting virtually, and am happy to take any feedback that you have for me. All right, thank you.